welcome to our friends, supporters, panelists, and viewers of the Cricket Show USA. We thank you for being with us on this platform, and we hope you will enjoy the show and join us again next week. This show is being recorded, and it's also being streamed live on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@cricket show. youtube.com/@cricket show. The Cricket Show USA, the Cricket Hall of Fame, first in the world since 1980, and American Cricket Education Council, ACEC, is pleased to welcome the weekly joint collaborative broadcast of the Coach's Corner. The objective of the Coach's Corner is to provide mentoring, coaching education, oral and practical assistance, expert views, while helping to educate those seeking to understand and become actively involved in the sport of cricket nationally and internationally. A segment of the Coach's Corner generally run from about 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time and will feature Jatin Patel, Cricket Hall of Famer, multi-sport coach, mentor, administrator, and director of the Cricket Hall of Fame, USA. Good evening to you, Coach, and welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Evening.
Thank you, Coach. Now, tonight we will be looking at, in our Coach's Corner, the topic of artificial intelligence, digital cricket coaching. Now, Coach, before we begin, the Google description of artificial intelligence is the ability of machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. For example, learning, problem solving, decision making. Artificial intelligence is in our cell phones as Siri and Alexa. So AI directs self-driving cars. Now we are hearing news that AI is poised to make a big impact on sports coaching. Coach, explain for us how artificial intelligence digital cricket coach will work.
First of all, good evening, everyone. Before I start answering that, if you can give me a minute, I'd like to announce the official launch of program in South Asia, beginning December 8 to December 19, only Monday to Thursday, means the weekdays. There will be session on mindfulness training from 8:30 p.m. Mumbai time. It will last about 45 minutes each. That will be the batch one for the people who want to attend during the weekdays. By the way, this will be in Hindi. The second batch will run on December 13, 14 and December 20, 21, which is Saturday and Sunday only. The people who cannot make it to the weekdays batch can attend the Saturday and Sunday. It will be just 4 sessions lasting about hour and a half to 2. All of them will start again at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Mumbai time. That's a part of the program is the mindfulness training, followed by mind power training. And it will be first time we will be discussing AI mindset towards the end of that sessions. Going back to your questions, definitely. In the shortest way to explain about this artificial intelligence, whatever we look into in this technology world, AI is not about to replace the coach or any human out there. But the AI will replace the things we do on routine basis on normal situation. So in other words, it will take away the role. And in that sense, now it's a time coming in. Soccer adopted 2 years back. I'm being part of that program too. And what we see is AI is definitely about to make difference in our lives, whether it's a normal life, your professional career, and in many other ways, including sports. So here, in almost every sport, there are things we can do much better with the AI. And that is what we love to or like to discuss today, how it will make impact. In the shortest way to explain, especially for the cricket, if you are looking as a coach, AI is not the solution. AI is definitely a suggestion. Going to the next level, AI is not a genius. It's not a rocket science. It's a heavily rely on the data, the information you put into the system, or the system put by some other people. While we go in depth, I'll explain to you this situation. But the biggest advantage of being AI on your side is like you got your professional assistant to take care of a lot of your tasks. You can say your best advisor to help you to improve your coaching. And when we say I can break down, it's not about fixing technical skills or someone is learning how to play cricket. But in that process, how we develop the player, what are the practice plans we need to develop? What are the things we need to look for in terms of the fitness and preparing the player itself? And in that sense, don't forget, we are not leaving behind the core component, mental. Game is all about psychology. 80% or more relies on your mindset and mindfulness. And that is the where we are going to see how we can improve that player in terms of the decision making, getting the awareness, because the end result is what? It doesn't matter how you prepare the player, how you train the player, how you mentor that player, how you coach that player. Think about that one moment when player walks into the field, inside the helmet. This player is without any support or tools he needs. It's all about self decision making. And that is the where we need to raise our bar in coaching. And to do so, from the books, from the videos, and just like you came out with the Google search, we need to get better. And we are taking advantage in that direction, that a lot of legends and coaches, beginning from the first batch, we are trying to give them tools they need to become next level coach.
Coach, AI can assist with the work of data analysis, tracking athletes' performance, and strategic planning as part of the whole work. Does that mean that the service and the involvement of a human coach is no longer required?
That's not the really true. We can not depend 100% on the AI. Even you get something out of it, you will still need the coach's naked eye, which can assess and see the player's performance as well as the things they do or the activities they are being involved. And that is the fine print. The coaches with the expertise, experience, and knowledge is definitely going to stay there. The AI is nothing but elevating your knowledge in terms of the coaching and mentoring. It is helping you to speed up the process. Sometimes AI can find the things we either missed it, or we did not recognize, or we didn't think it's important in the first place. So AI can find those loopholes and corners for you and suggest, hey, this is the thing we got to work on. And at the same time, if you look at the coach's normal life, with the plenty of 30 plus roles and responsibilities nowadays in coaching, I will say AI can be your best assistant and advisor, and you have to use it wisely. More we go inside in depth, I'll explain and give you some examples on that. But definitely, coaches are not going away as we started. But the coaches with the AI knowledge or the coaches who are working with the AI will be in front of the line. That's a statement I can make clearly.
Coach, the data that is generated by AI systems, how different is that data when compared to data developed by a human assistant coach? And will athletes require special training in order to understand the AI generated data?
Well, the first of all, what you input will be directly related to the output. So, in other words, we have to give a specific data so the AI can generate suggestion for you. At the same time, either you provide the data or you have the reliable source of data to process with it. It may be confusing, but let me tell you a simple thing, the one good example. If you're looking for something to eat, you go in grocery store. If you want to fix something in a home which requires tools or hardware, we don't go grocery store. We go to the hardware store. And so on. So AI is the next version of, I will say, very complicated and confusing statement for us. It's not a one-stop solution. Just like if you recall the search engines, we had a Google, we had a Yahoo, and there are plenty of others. And when you are looking for some information, you go to the particular search engine where you are comfortable. That's number one. Number two, you may have tried all, but you are relying on one of them about the other one because in the past you feel good about what the response you get. So in the same way, AI, if you're working on some communication part, if you are working on, let's say, manual preparation, doing your instruction part, it's definitely a different place. You can get help. But when it's come to the coaching related data, again, it's not a one-stop all for which can fit everybody. We need to find a right source, and that is what we will be guiding in the course. What are the tools we have? What are the options we have? And what are the ways to get the help from there? But the most likely, the biggest thing for me on the side of the soccer and other sports, I will say your data is more important than anything else. In other words, let's say if you're coaching 20 kids, means you have your own data. You have your own data. You got the 20 different players, all of them different physics, different stamina level, different fitness level, different knowledge level, and we can keep continue. The AI is not a one-stop solution. But if we have this in example, 20 kids, and if you are coaching, and let's say you are working on a fitness side, yes, you start collecting data. You provide data to the AI platform, and AI can generate the plan for you, which is most likely the suggestions. some sort of benchmark, some sort of like ideas, what we need to look for, why certain players are not good and why certain players not bad, and so on. So we are coming from a different world. 20 years back, let's say, this coaching started with these accreditations and certifications and so on, where we are heavily relying on the books. From that, if you look at like probably 15 years back, we started getting into analytical journeys, technical analytics, right? Technical analytics. And then it started this video analysis, game analysis, player analysis, and so what? We already in the pool of technology. AI is taking us to the next level, how we can sustain our future with this digital technology. By the way, when we say digital, it's all about numbers. And then you twist that numbers, why, how, when, all questions around it. And that is the where AI can be handy to save your time, become expert. And by the way, we are living in a modern world. If you can say I'm coaching for 30 years and I have this sort of certificate for 30 years, it's no good anymore. Can we go out there and say, I know how to use that landline dial phone where you dial every number one at a time? Those days are gone. Now we are looking at what? Smartphone. So in the shortest way to say, AI digital coaching is all about making smart coaches.
Thank you, Coach. Now, let's just remind our listeners, viewers, the topic is AI digital cricket coaching. And after this next question, I will certainly put it to the panelists for any questions they may have. Coach, AI is being recommended as a partner rather than a replacement. How would this partnership work in real life situation involving cricketers?
Well, we all know that things has been changed in last 2 decades. Let's say coaching staff on team. We have head coach, assistant coach, bowling coach, batting coach, fielding coach, right? Look at these things are going up. And so does when it comes to the coaching. Again, going back to that 15-minute back, I give you statement like analytics came out. So now this analytical job is going to increase. We used to have just 2 empire, then we got the 3rd empire, then we had a 4th empire. Now we got the TV empire. The sports are growing and they need the more support. So when it comes to the AI, it's definitely part of having more partners to do your job. Unfortunately, especially for US and Americas, we are not in a position to get even a few coaches in certain areas. Let me do this way. Not every area. The big cities are well equipped, plenty of coaches out there, plenty of academies out there, plenty of youth pickers out there. But there are areas people having a hard time to find a single coach. Now, when someone start coaching at any level, at a grassroots level to the higher level, it's a very stressful because this one coach has to do everything possible to his knowledge and expertise, and on top of end of the day, it's his ability and capability. Now, when you are not finding a support you need at a critical time, normally they get disappointed, distracted with this normal life and our full-time job or business, and eventually they walk away and blaming that lack of support, lack of volunteer, lack of funding, and so on. So AI can be one of your best partner. It helps you. To me, the way it's working in soccer and other sports, I will say 60 to 80% of your job can be done with the AI. It can save your time. It can create something more professionally than you can in terms of writing, manual process, and all those. It can help you in terms of working on certain things, and so on. I will say adopting AI as a partner or assistant is one of the best things you can rely on.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Leon, a question for the coach?
Yes, indeed. Coach, very wonderful topic. Are you saying, Coach, that an opposing captain or management team, England versus Australia, the Ashes, that they can accumulate information on each other's opponent? In other words, England can get on Australia to find out the weaknesses, the strengths of the players, and as a result, use that to the advantage?
100%. The one thing we have to understand since the sports analytics started, they're tracking all this information. If you watch any cricket game, you will see those graphic pictures about how many dot balls, how many balls you played, where you lost the wicket, how many went for sixes. That's a common, the geographic way, visualization, they are presenting you how this thing happening. But how it's happened? Because every ball is recorded. Someone on analytics side has put this information into the computer. And when you enter this one ball at a time in a T20 games, we are looking at minimum 120 entries, let's say this way. So after end of the game, you can easily generate the graph. How many dot balls? Why they were dot ball? Why the player was not able to play, right? So those are the limit of the real things, what happens, right? Now we are going next level. That may be a work in this example by one analytics or two analytics or maybe few analytics. But the way the technology is growing, the technology is always bringing something new every day for us. So the point comes, how many more analysts you need on that table to decode what's happening in a game, or you just says, where are you going to find the opponent track? Don't expect in your example that ECB will give you all data and ask the AI what to do. But whatever the data you have collected, whatever the data is available, those all can be compiled and get the help from the AI. To simplify this process, let me explain to you the other way. Until now, you used to look for something to search on internet. What do you normally do? You write a word or maybe the sentence in a Google search, and immediately you will see few times 100, few times thousands of sites which is related to your question. Now the biggest challenge is here. Which one are you going to trust? Which one you have confidence or you are relaxed to read and get the most out of that one site? Unfortunately, that one site may not have all information you need. So you are backing out, going to the next site, going to the next site, and then eventually after all these effort, let's say you went to the 10th site and read all those information, collected all details, and now you are stressful to figure out what is the conclusion about this thing. I asked this one sentence of few words, and I'm getting thousands of search. Some may be wrong, some may be right, some not even reliable, some even not even your concern. the AI do the job for you. You give that one sentence, it will very quickly process your request based on your question again, and it can sum up with it, which can be helpful to you. So in this example, you are saving time, you are saving your effort to go in different direction, different places, different site, different resources. And by the way, very quickly, you are getting something out of it as a suggestion. And then you take that suggestion. Again, is not a outcome, is not a result, is not a solution either. But this will help you to put you one step closer to the reality where you can succeed.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Trevor, any question for the coach? You're muted, Trevor.
Yes. Well, I've been using data analysis for quite a while, and recognize that the other sports platforms I've been using data analysis because I see it in baseball when they will have a player focus on his reaction, the stance he has when he's batting, okay, whether he is putting too much pressure on his right foot or his left foot. I have used it in many different capacities. My question now in regards to cricket coming on board to start using AI across the platform, because I'm sure that there are some of the advanced teams that has the resources. I've been using AI already. As a matter of fact, that's why we complain about not getting our fair slice of the pie. Okay? That is other, we say India and Australia and England, they're getting enough resources, and they have been using AI for a long time because they have the resources to do it. So my question is ICC endorsing AI? And if they're endorsing AI, are they prepared now to make sure that across the platform, the teams will be able to develop, okay, the players, the coaches, and have access to the necessary information that they need, not only for a team that is outside of their region, but for their own team, because it's going to take a lot of data input. Okay, during every game, after every game, to accumulate the information they need for the algorithm or for the analysis to give you a fair, a true result. So the question is, now that they're endorsing AI, are they gonna put out a statement that says that we are gonna provide the resources so everyone across the platform can upgrade? Because if it's only those who have the resources that are gonna upgrade, then it is not benefiting those who do not have the resources.
Well, I love this question. But at the same time, all of us know, what do you get out of ICC?
Okay. And I don't, Leon. That's what I'm dating. That's why I throw it back on the table.
If anyone says I'm empire, then I'll ask you first question. Did the ICC ever develop laws for this game? It's coming from MCC in England. And by the way, I love this one. Reason for that, Professor, look at the IPL. Why they are roaring, why they are soaring in price, values, performance, everything. You answered this thing for me already. Those billion-dollar franchise owner invested their money in technology long time ago.
Okay.
Look at the IPL data is available for those franchisees. Every franchise keep their own data as well as the oppositors' data. When they scout the players, I give you one good example, then you tell me if I'm wrong. Marco Jensen from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Before he makes the first class debut or university level game, who picked up this kid first? IPL.
Mm-hmm.
Another blaster right now is making too much. This young kid, under 15, who scout them. He's not coming because somebody watch old ways and figure out this is the talent, he has a potential, and we need to pull it. There are numbers behind it.
All right.
That young kid played a local Premier League in Delhi. Let me tell you how this thing is happening. He just played in a local league in Delhi. His performance, every ball he played, every ball he faced, whatever he has done has been recorded in numbers somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the season, people look into the information. At least you got a first sense.
Mm-hmm.
Attention has been drawn. Okay, this is the excellent player doing something different than others. It's begin with that and coming in a big picture.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
My point is, 4 years back, let's go US wise. A lot of sports using these analytics long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before cricket started. We always behind, to be honest with you. Basketball has a story. Even football has a story. Baseball, $1 million arm. You know that movie?
Mm-hmm.
20 years back. So they have these things to get the best for the sport from the players, let's say. Player is our main concern, right? Every sport, if you don't have the good players, legendary players, we're going nowhere. Anyone can play at the street level or international level is not a big deal. But playing at the highest level, competing against the highest caliber players at international level in that world arena, and when you do something, that is the one makes important to the fans. Fans are not there just to watch game. Others they'll be watching in neighborhood. Why they won't go to the stadium?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at this, analytics has taken over in 20 years. And believe it or not, ICC may adapt in 5, 10, 15 years. We don't know. We don't know. Because ICC has their own plans and agenda to develop this game. But at the same time, if you are in years, we know the comparison, how this soccer started and went to 48 team World Cup, which is coming next year. And cricket, we still, I think, going through the same process. Now divide the decision, divide the full-time nations, give something little to us. This is like they have their own problems, I can say. They need to fix their way because they are not going to listen to us. We can suggest, we can recommend, but at the end of the day, the national and international organization will be definitely relying on technical side, which is AI will be the next. Because that is the one they are getting clear suggestions. Right? So as always, numbers don't lie. How much accurate information is. Right? If you look at these last 3 days attention in this, I just was working with somebody in India. 3 days of attendance in that India-South Africa test. Again, it's wrapped up in less than 3 hours. A lot of fans disappointed. but they had attendance of 30 to 40,000 range. Now, the truth is, the fans come for a reason to the ground. Let's take it this way. If I had to go 40 years back, Barbados crowd was into the ground for one reason. We know that, right? Having fun for the day. Let me have a drink. Let me have a music. And let me enjoy the game. Now the same crowd is being disappeared. So this is the where AI can come and provide you the help. What the fans want. What is the fans' demand? What is the today's and next generation fans are looking at? So this AI has a definitely one statement if I have to make. It doesn't matter what level you talk, normal life, professional life, business, education, sports. One single statement. AI is not going away. And that is the reason the education, professional, lot of professional sports already started getting with it. And it's time for the cricket. Yes, there will be issue because this is not the easy concept or easy adaptability, I call it. And it will take a while in some countries because they don't need just technology, they need a technical experts.
One follow-up question, Jatin.
Sure, go ahead.
Will AI now start selecting the team?
Oh man, I think I will talk on this answer probably later after 8 o'clock after dinner. Definitely, I'm coming back to. Just remind me on this one, right? But it's not the. To be honest, AI is not the solution, and that is the reason we need to. So otherwise, I think West Indies might buy some good computers from India and say, okay, fire these all selectors and coaches, right? We are not up to that point.
Coach, thank you. The topic is AI digital cricket coaching. Coach, we are aware that many different languages are spoken around the world. Each language has its own word and action emphasis that has its own nuances that help us to interpret the meaning of the spoken word. How would AI language specific initiative work across diverse language group?
It will be tricky, but need to be specific to that particular language. Personally, myself, I know about 6-7 language, including 4 from India, because of the state situation. But there are things is not common at all. It can have different meaning, different way to explain, and so does need to be specific. And that is the reason we are launching AI digital coaching as well as AI mindset, both in December for the South Asia. Because Hindi is the language, I think, second to English in the overall world. But on the sports side, I will say that's a heavy language. If we count cricket, we got India, 1.4 billion people. Then you got Pakistan, another 200 plus million. Then we're looking at Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Nepal. Now all these players and people involved in cricket, they easily understand the Hindi. By the way, I just got the message from last night in Saudi Arabia. The few people says we are waiting for it, and these are the people going to convert whatever the content we provide, whatever the context we talk, they are going to into their language. Definitely the translation is needed, but at the same time, in my opinion, It's all about how you understand this concept is the most important. And the second thing, the way we developed that program 15 years back in US, when I was part of that coaching initiative, initial courses, I consider the two sides instead of my knowledge, my ideas, my books, and my certificates. Has nothing to do with it. It's all about how the school teachers will understand cricket is important on side one. After they do, the second side is more important. How they will deliver this coaching to future scholars to many years to come. So it's just language is the same thing. Well, what we're talking is a communication. Communication is all about between the two parties. One speaks, other has to understand. If you really want to communicate, are they both on some sort of same platform? Whether it's a sign language, whether it's some action side. I deal with a lot of Spanish kids from Mexico and Central America. When they come to the school level or playing soccer at the club level, they are not great at English. But at the same time, they catch up our English communication, what coach wants. And they go onto the field. They're dealing with other players who are more of a US-based players. But they do find out the game tactics. So here the language part will be the issue all the time. But that doesn't mean we have to stick with that same old statement. Impossible? No. In the AI world, everything is possible.
Thank you, Coach. Anyone with a question on the panel, I would encourage you to raise your hand, and I will certainly acknowledge you with whatever questions you may have. And in the meantime, Coach, if an athlete was able to acquire an AI module, could the athlete dispense with a human coach?
Yeah. And we are working on it. After we go through, there are some modules under the course where we will guide the players. What are the tools they have? It's not about bypassing coach or ignoring coach, but giving the straight information or instruction where they can adopt something and improve that performance. End of the day, the coach's core function is get the most and best out of the player. That's one side. And what I believe in this part of the world, without going in critics or criticizing anything out there, I will say sometimes players are smart. If they give you a tools or additional suggestion or additional mentoring, besides relying heavily on that one coach who is being tied up with you because of the contract or situation or the space or environment, the AI gives the tools directly to them. And then it's up to them to develop a plan or process, keep tracking on their own data as well as tallying or comparing this data with other players for their own information or for their own performance. Those are the avenues can do. Again, as I said, this AI is not that point yet where you can see that they will watch the player and find out defects or the things can be improved. But it can help to make this player better. Where heavily I will say it's all about preparation and going 80% is a psychological. And then you add physical fitness training and to make them competitive. And the biggest challenge is definitely they can get the help on mindset and mindfulness. And that is the where the most of the players, even at the international level, I feel a lot of players are hesitant to come out open and discuss what they're going through. And at the same time, we learned from the 2020. By the way, people, when we say 2020, they are guessing. But as soon as the Corona lockdown, everyone knows what we're talking. It was a time when the world was told we were behind the windows and doors, can't go out, nothing we can do. And I see those challenges. People were concerned what to do. Even they find something, then the next question comes, how we will do. So that biggest challenge we learned from the Corona time, and this is still ongoing. World is going crazy, money is out there, sports is growing. It's a huge impact in a normal people's life. But those two questions, what to do and how to do, are still exist. And that is the where we can fill up the gap to help those players or the coaches or anyone out there to have some sort of suggestion. What is the best thing you can do?
Coach, can AI be used to mislead athletes? In other words, how does coaches evaluate the AI data to confirm or ensure accuracy and reliability of the generated data?
Well, some of the stuff can help your own process or own program when you are sure that your data is 100%. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a sprint coach dealing with the players. I will separate two. One is a quick 100-yard sprint. It takes a lot of things quick. Don't have much time. At the same time, I have seen at the high school level, the coaches who track cross country, which is the long run, some miles, right? The two different platforms, two different logs, two different requirements from the player to be part of it, and two different challenges to be competitive in that particular format. And at the same time, we are looking at with whom we are competing, other side of the data. And so does you start logging it. How accurately you log that information, which is the data, it's become more important. So there's the two things. As far as collecting data concerned, or the things you want to achieve, you have to be specific. Again, AI is not the solution. It's a suggestion based on what you ask and what you provide. So the two component is really a serious to find out, getting into the content and the context. What actually trying to get out of it. And so does when you ask, you have to be specific. Because what you ask is the one generates the answers for you, or suggestions, let's say. But need to be specific. So in other words, if you're sprinting somebody, let's say 100 yards, it's a very simple. You can't say what I can do to sprint 100 yards like Usain Bolt.
Thank you, Coach.
Guess
Professor.
what? Guess what? You have to be specific. How old is the kid? Where they are running? What surface they are running? What their time running? What practice they do? So in terms, the context and the content are both critical. Anything you look for the help from the AI.
Thank you, Coach. Professor Trevor Sosabon has a question for you.
Well, you just mentioned sprinting, and we know that they will track how many milliseconds it take you to get off the block. Okay. how many milliseconds it takes you when the gun fires to get off the block, because that determines how fast you get into your rhythm. But my question is in regards to mindset and mind power now.
Okay, go ahead.
That when you load mindset and mind power into AI, because they're going to take the information orally by scanning your conversation, okay? They're going to scan your videos, and AI is going to absorb all of that. Now, the question is, when AI now begins to apply that across the board, then maybe it will make it cheaper and easier to get access to mind power and mindset. So my question is, when is Mr. Michael Chambers now going to start the process of translating mind power into AI format? And when mindset is going to do the same thing, so that online learning now becomes an easy part of the training program? That's my open question.
It's already out there. It's already ready. Just be patient. Okay. Mind power training, that is the only reason I hold up after the mindfulness, because there are things I'm working with about 4 or 5 doctors at same times, including some psychological people, psychologists, to see what are the things. The reason for that, let me explain to you the simple example. Let's take just 1 week. 1 week. This is the part of the basic understanding how this mindset works, let's say, before finding some suggestion or solution. You're getting up every morning at 6 o'clock. You set up an alarm clock in your phone. Do you think you will get up every morning sharp at 6 a.m.? You really don't. Sometimes you may wake up a little bit early to see is it 6 o'clock or not. Sometimes you may wake up on a third or fourth ring in alarm. Right? By the way, at same time, do you think all 7 days, I'm taking just the 7 days data log. If you log your activities about what time you wake up, let's say, what was your mood? Depends on your outside weather, body situation, rest, comfortable with heat or air conditioning in your room. So these are the changes. So when you put this 7 days data into the AI, it will tell you, what do you like most? Well, you don't like to wake up on the alarm. You always want to stay a little bit more in the bed. What suggestion is coming? Because you already put maybe 4 days. I didn't get up on first thing. Mindset is a very similar situation. All of us, everyone out there has a different challenges, different hurdles, different expectations, right? And the different way to make decisions. Some make it quick, some don't make it quick, and so on. What the AI can help you is, if you provide your own data, let's say, and the AI can help you as a suggestion, what you can do to improve from the information you have provided. Again, it's not a solution, it's a suggestion. But if you work on that suggestion, if it is workable, adaptable, or if you put in place, things can change. So mindset, this is like a really big topic. Under the mindset, there are 30, 40 items out there, like anxiety, right? Stress, confidence, focus. We can keep continuing. Every point has a book out there, I will say. Do we have time to go through all? By the way, in today's world, everyone is looking for the quick decision, shortcut. So what the AI can do, you tell me something, what's going on, what are you going through, and what are you trying to achieve, it can suggest. So even the AI jumps in mindset doesn't mean everyone can be like a cool sports person. It can be different because even the AI brings you some suggestion. It's a how we adapt, how we accept, and how we put in place will be the different way, human by human. And that is a huge challenge. But for us, it's all about providing a tool where you can use at your convenience at any time you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days. And it may be more helpful. And a lot of people feels like this is like a privacy. I'm not talking with somebody about my issues. And yeah, I can help to solve that problem. At least what you're going
Coach.
through.
I saw
Good.
Mr. Chambers had indicated that he wanted to speak after that question from Professor Sosobone, and
Go
now
ahead.
is the opportunity.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Chambers here. I was just listening to Professor Sosobone bringing up mind power. But with AI, once you understand how to use AI, once you understand what mindset is, you see, if we understand that mindset is everything that has been stored in your subconscious mind, that is what creates your mindset. So now, if you want to change your mindset, you can tell AI what's happening to you. Like every morning, I want to get up at 6 and I can't. And then you put some more information in. AI will now give you some ideas as to what you can do to wake up early in the morning. Because remember now, what is happening is information, data is being stored on everybody. So when you put a question in, it's not going to look for your data in the data set. It's going to look for a data pattern and come up with a suggestion. So it's been out there and it's been in practice, and I have personally been using it on myself to figure out, how to change some belief systems and some mindset and some mind power techniques.
So in that one, I can say, as we always say, become an expert and knowledgeable in mindfulness and mindset and mind power training. Because end of the day, as I said, AI is not replacement. It will not take over your job, but it may take over your job, the things you do. It's other way around. So it's better for us to get equipped and do it. And it's like AI is a kind of server. What you ask for, it delivers to you.
Thank
Leon.
you.
Leon
Just
got something.
to wrap up, but Leon has one final question.
Final question, sorry to keep you past your bedtime. But nevertheless, do you foresee that AI can in the future help you develop a new delivery in cricket, a new shot in for batsmen, and conversely, can it read the mind of the batter to tell us what that batsman going to do, what shot he's going to play?
We have a very long way to get into this one. Did you see the last week? Japan introduced that robot, came out to the stage, said hi and hello, and all of a sudden it stumbled. Where it end up? To human.
Okay.
This machine is all about trained by human. Machine is all about coded by the human, what to do, how to do, when to do, why to do, sort of things. When it fails, it ends up to the human who operate it, who maintain it, who repair it. And so does, in the shortest way, again, going back to square one. Coaches will not be replaced by AI. but the coaches who has a assistant or a partner as AI will be in front of the line. Machines cannot take over the human, but machines can take over the things the human does, like vacuuming your floor. By the way, cars without drivers, now it's coming automatic, right? Even the planes and our own cars right now, if you don't have in a EV and next generation car, we are driving in a cruise mode, means you don't have to pedal up and brakes more often. So these things are coming as a tools, not as a replacement. And at the same time, we need to learn how to use those tools.
Thank you, Coach. And we are at the end of our Coach's Corner segment. I would like to thank Coach Patel for his thoughts, his knowledge, experience, and of course, his contribution to the topic. And look forward to further discussion around this topic in the weeks to come. And there's no doubt that Coach Patel have answers to the questions that you have been asking. So we invite you to join us again next week at the same time, right here on the Cricket Show USA. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you all.